Morning students, very good morning to one and all. Last time we have completed third lesson. Okay, we have written the question answers as well as we had completed one Google form test also. Today we are starting our new lesson. Okay, block 4 lesson plan number 1, computer lab rules and etiquettes. Okay, as we know that etiquette means it is nothing but a proper behavior or behavior with politeness and where we follow all the rules. As we know that in our school also we have the computer lab. So there are certain rules which we need to follow while using the same. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19 or this pandemic situation which has been created because of corona, we are not in school. Otherwise, we would have taken the practicals also. But once this problem is going to get clear or when this problem is going to get solved, we are going to go in school. That time, of course, we are going to have some computer sessions, practical session also. So when you are going to go to computer lab, what rules and etiquettes are important that we are going to see in this particular lesson. So the first rule is operate the computer under the guidance of teachers. When you are in the computer lab, while using the computer, you need to take guidance of your teachers. Okay, how to on, how to off it, which sites we have to use, and what actually we are supposed to do. That is or that will be taught by your teachers. Okay, so you need to follow your teacher regarding the operation or the operating of the computer. Okay, second thing which you need to follow, know your computer and its peripherals. Peripherals means different parts. As we know that computer means monitor is there. With monitor you get CPU. With CPU keyboard is there, mouse is there. Okay, printer is also there. So just try and know all these parts very well. So while using, in case of any problem, you can easily understand which particular part is not working properly and you can tell the same to the teacher. Okay, means you should know their names very well. Next thing is that do not remove or disconnect any cable. Since we are going to use computers in computer lab, these computers might be connected properly, okay, to the network connections. Various connections would be there. Okay, so for their proper working, they should not be removed or disconnect. Whatever cables or connections are there, you should not disconnect them. Okay, it may waste your time, not only your time but other friends valuable time also during the computer practical. So need not to do unnecessary experiment with these things. Okay, do not bring outside CDs, floppies, pen drives without the permission of your teacher. As we know that this is our computer lab, means we are in school, so we need to follow school rules. So one should not bring any CD or any floppy or any pen drive. They must be having some viruses in them and which might infect the complete system which is present in the computer lab. Okay, it might affect others computer as well, since the computers are going to be uh, are going to be connected with each other with networking system. Okay, so you should not do that without the permission of your teachers. Do not change the display settings of the monitor. So when we enter in the computer lab and when we sit in front of our computer or the allocated computer, one should not change the display settings, because whenever teachers they sit, they set the settings properly and they know it very well which setting or which display setting is going to be proper for your eyesight. So you need not to change anything. Okay, your teacher knows it very well. So please do not try to change anything. Use the keyboard and mouse gently. These keyboards and mouse, they are very important. In case if you are not going to use them properly, what will happen? Maybe you or your friend won't get a computer to use during the practicals if it stops working. So proper usage is very important. You should use it very gently, since the keyboard and mouse, they have very delicate keys and we need to use them properly. Correct? Next, always move the mouse on the mouse pad. As we know that these mouse, they have the laser sensor, or some of the mouse, they used to have the rolling ball. But we need to use them properly. We need to use them properly. Correct? So whenever you want to use mouse, just see whether there is a mouse pad or not. You have to use it compulsorily on mouse pad itself. Do not insert any sharp object in the CD or floppy drives. As we know that these CD or floppy drives, they are very important. While they have to, means your teachers, they have to install new softwares to the computer system. At that time, these CD drivers or drives are very important. And for that purpose, you should not insert any sharp object. It might create problem to that, and ultimately you are going to get suffer. It's because you are not going to get that updated software or new software, which is very important. Okay, so do not do any experiment with the CD or floppy drives. Next, do not eat or drink inside the computer lab. Since we are in a lab, we are not there for a time pass, we are there for lecture. Okay, so during that particular period, you should not drink anything, or you should not have anything like snacks and all that in computer lab, because cleanliness is important. At the same time, seriousness while learning new things is really very important. So you should avoid eating or drinking inside the computer lab. Correct? Are you getting? It's really very important, students. 10th, switch off the computer after you have finished working. Okay, switch off the computer after you have finished working. You should switch off the computer once you complete your work. Correct? Why switch off the computer? Because as you know that suppose there are 10 computers and we have kept them on, and by mistake your forget uh, teacher forgot to just turn off the computers, so unnecessarily it is going to use electricity. So to avoid that usage of unnecessary electricity, as well as it might create problem to the computer system also, to avoid all the losses of electricity and computer system, you should compulsorily switch off the computer once you have completed or once you have finished your work on the same. Correct? It is really very important. As a student, we have to remember all these things when we are going to enter in the computer lab. Keep your area neat, clean and organized, and while working on your computer you should not create a mess by keeping books or any other unnecessary things. If even if you are carrying your notebook, you should keep it properly to the right or left side of your desk. You should keep your pens at one place or the pencils at one place. You should not throw the things here and there. It should be very clean and organized. Correct? It is really very important. When you get good clean atmosphere, or when you get clean area workspace, at that time you can work more creatively. Okay, more properly. So do remember, keep your area neat, clean and organized. Understood? Okay, very good. Now these were the basic rules and etiquettes. But with rules and etiquettes, moral values are also important. As we know, today computers are being used in every field, but sometimes it may be used for some harmful purposes also. Okay, so we must have certain moral values to make good use of computer. So first, moral values: do not change any computer settings. Okay, it is not correct to create unnecessary problems to your school or your computer teacher. Okay, so never change computer settings unless and until your teachers are in uh, your teachers have instructed to do so. Okay, so never change any computer settings. Second, do not install any software or modify or delete any system file. Do not install any software, unnecessary software, without the permission of your teacher, as well as don't delete any system file, because system files are very important for the proper operation or working of the computer and its various softwares. If you are going to delete any system file which you don't know, or about which you don't have any complete idea, it might create problem to its working. Okay, so never install any software or modify, try to change the some names or some settings, or delete it permanently. It may create a problem, so avoid doing that. Do not read or modify other users files. Okay, it is not correct. Like somebody has kept his file on the computer, so that is his property. That work belongs to him, so one should not check without his permission, which is morally wrong. Which is morally wrong. Understood? Like suppose somebody has kept a bag on your desk. Are you going to open it? No. It is like that only, because that bag is not belong to us. Like that only, that folder is not belong to us. So we should avoid doing that. Do not access files, accounts or other systems you are not authorized to use. Like somebody has kept a file or account which is not closed. Okay, somebody by mistake forgot to close or sign out his email account and you are going to access it, use it. So is it correct? No, you are not authorized to use that. It is somebody else's property. You should not use it, which is morally and legally not correct. So never access any files which doesn't belong to you, at the same time the accounts or other systems. Okay, so avoid that always. Do remember, students. Okay, keep your password to yourself. Change your password right away if you think someone else may know it. Like password is like, means it's like your account number. You should not tell to anyone else, like our bank account number or any other. Like you have got a lock and you are giving key to somebody else, so that password is like a key. Are you going to give the keys to somebody else? No, never. It will create a problem to you. Somebody may steal your important information or other passwords or other things, so never share your password. And sometimes if you feel that somebody has got your password, you feel suspicious, then right away, without thinking anything, just change your password quickly. Just change your password quickly. Okay, so it will avoid the problems or the further problems. Okay, so it is really very important to have a look or check whether the password is used by anyone else or not. Okay, if you feel somebody else is using it, just change it without a second thought. Use licensed versions of the software. Always use the licensed versions of the software. One should not never take the duplicate ones, which are called as pirated versions of the softwares, because of which you might get some viruses also with those pirated versions. At the same time, it is not correct that we are cheating that company or that software company. It's not correct. Okay, so you need to follow some moral values as well when you are going to enter in the computer lab. Correct? Very good. So homework is nothing but read the complete lesson. So when next time we'll have practice session, that time you can answer me. Correct? So it's really good to see that you are completing your homework on time. In case you have any doubt, please let me know. You can call me or you can WhatsApp me. Thank you so much for listening and watching this video so patiently. We'll meet next time with the remaining part of the lesson. Thank you so much. Take care.